We want to thank you for your presence here today. And at the outset, I think it's important that we never forget the honorable men and women of Illinois and our entire country who wear the uniform of our country. This year, as we remember the 10th anniversary of September 11th, 2001, we owe a profound debt to those who volunteer for our military and protect our democracy. And in particular, we send a special salute to the 440 Illinois National Guardsmen who are in the Sinai Desert in Egypt as we speak. We thank them for their service. And in the same vein, we should not forget those who just 2 weeks ago, during a severe weather crisis that we all never will forget in the state of Illinois, we had to deploy the workers of our state government to protect the lives of 13 million people. And many, many state departments, including the Illinois Emergency Management Agency, the Illinois Department of Transportation, the Illinois National Guard, the Illinois State Police, the Illinois Department of Natural Resources, the Illinois State Toll Highway Authority, and the Illinois State Marshal worked as a team to plow 16,800 miles of roads, working around the clock in whiteout conditions to keep our people safe. And I think all of us should give a round of applause to these heroic state workers who got the job done. This is your state government at its best, and I think we all know when public servants do their job and do it well, all of us are better off. When I spoke to you a year ago, we stood on the brink of economic and financial disaster. We had come through the worst financial crisis in our state since the Great Depression. Thousands of Illinois families were still suffering from unemployment and its effects. And after 3 decades of financial mismanagement, our state's financial house was on fire. In the past year, Illinois has begun an impressive recovery, and we have taken important steps to rescue our state's finances. We must have financial stability in Illinois. We must have it. Budget stability is crucial for the success of businesses, families, and the state of Illinois. It's a critical factor in attracting business and keeping business investment and in creating jobs. And it's how we will lead Illinois citizens to economic prosperity and maintain our role as a global economic powerhouse. We have taken the first steps to stabilize our budget, and with a comprehensive plan to restrain spending and reform state government, we're on our way. But the first part of this plan is budget restraint and finding new ways to reduce unnecessary state spending. And since taking office, I have reduced our spending every year, and no area is above review. Last year, we enacted a landmark pension reform law, the most far-reaching public pension reform law ever enacted by a state in our country's history. And over the next generation, we will save the people of Illinois $220 billion. And just last month, I signed into law historic caps on state spending. And our commitment to taxpayers is simple. We will only use tax dollars to provide necessary state services. All unnecessary state spending will be eliminated. And we are looking at programs in new ways. We want to save taxpayer dollars while improving the services we deliver. For example, last month, together, we passed comprehensive Medicaid reform. Will save us hundreds of millions of dollars. But it will also improve health care outcomes for Medicaid patients. It'll decrease ineffective reliance on emergency rooms by providing patients with a medical home and focusing on preventive care to keep people from getting sick in the first place. We need to keep investing in essential, necessary services while cutting programs that don't work. This means continued support for cost-effective programs that do work, such as home care for those with disabilities, child care for working families, and community care for our seniors. Our new approach is called budgeting for results. The spending reductions and program reforms that I am talking about today are the result of our budgeting for results process. And I want to personally thank Senator Dan Katowski for his leadership on this issue. Thank you very much. And while we've taken strong action to stabilize our budget, we are still in a tough fiscal situation. As a result, the spending reductions that I am presenting today are very tough. The difficult choices we make today will ensure that we are able to provide the essential services to families and businesses across our entire state. This year we have looked for savings in a number of areas. And here are just a few examples of a long list of cuts. We are reducing the Medicaid reimbursement rate for hospitals and nursing homes, saving taxpayers $550 million this year alone. Illinois currently has 868 school districts, and our fiscal reality demands consolidation. It's too many districts. I'm proposing the formation of a commission that will review the number of school districts in our state. Consolidation lowers administrative overhead, improves efficiency, and will save taxpayers $100 million. I'm also proposing the elimination of state funding for the salaries and office costs of regional school superintendents. The $13 million annually saved will be spent in the classroom rather than on administration. And I have heard an excellent suggestion from Representative Anthony DeLuca for a special commission to examine additional cuts to unnecessary government spending. It's a suggestion I look forward to working with you on, and I want to thank Representative DeLuca for his leadership in that area. This year, we began facing up to our obligations. We enacted a new revenue law to help eliminate our long-standing structural deficit. But that is only half the solution. We have $8.7 billion in overdue unpaid bills. We need to restructure our debt, a plan that will allow us to pay our outstanding bills to vendors and return to a prompt payment cycle. Currently, Illinois pays its bills, as Comptroller Topinka knows, 6 to 8 months behind schedule. We force our universities, our service agencies, our companies doing business with the state to bear the burden of slow pay. For example, Illinois' backlog of payments to the state's transit systems is now more than $280 million. Millions of people living and working in Illinois rely on mass transit systems, including 2 million trips a day just in northeastern Illinois alone. Delayed payments to the Regional Transportation Authority, for the CTA, for Metra, for PACE, that harms the ability of our people to get to work. We have to do something about this. In addition, our state has been forced to pay more for procurement contracts simply because we don't pay on time. Vendors are not bidding competitively for our state business. Their bids are 6 to 10% higher than they should be because those contracting with the state expect long delays in payment. This is not insignificant. We pay $700 million to $1 billion more a year as a result of slow pay. Even with our new revenues, if we do not restructure our debt, it will take us decades for us to return to a prompt payment cycle of a fiscally responsible government. So there's legislation, you know, currently pending before this General Assembly that will allow us to pay our bills today through a debt restructuring plan. This is not new borrowing. Billions of dollars of existing bills will not go away by magic. With debt restructuring legislation, we have the opportunity to jumpstart our economy this year by paying our vendors today. That's an immediate injection of billions of dollars into our economy. We will, as a state, see lower interest costs, and our vendors will be willing to bid competitively. Now, if you don't agree with our debt restructuring plan, tell us which payments you would eliminate to pay $8.7 billion in overdue bills today. Which programs? Put it out there for all of us to see. Saying no is not enough unless you're willing to offer real alternatives. Rebuilding our fiscal house and paying our bills will have a positive effect on our economy and jobs across Illinois right now. In 2010, Illinois, our state, added more jobs than any other state in the Midwest, bar none. We were fourth in the nation. We were fourth in the nation at job growth. And don't ever forget that Illinois is the 18th largest economy in the world, with a state domestic product of $2/3 of $1 trillion. We've had 9 straight months of declining unemployment. In fact, the unemployment rate in every county in Illinois fell for the first time since 1974. And we know one of the best ways to create jobs is to help the private sector grow and develop. And thanks to our public and private partnerships and investments that we all believe in, we have helped companies like Ford, like Chrysler, like Navistar, like Mitsubishi, like Boeing, and dozens of others who have chosen to relocate and grow their operations right here in Illinois. Our EDGE tax credits helped Ford add 1,200 jobs to its plant on Torrance Avenue in Chicago. And we saved 1,950 jobs at Chrysler in Belvidere. Just 10 days ago, Mitsubishi announced, thanks to our investment, that they will be saving 1,200 jobs at their manufacturing facility in Normal. And we also believe in investing in green technologies and manufacturing that are driving today's jobs and tomorrow's. Last year, we helped develop the Rockford Solar Project, the largest solar generator in the Midwest, and one of the largest in the United States. We're also working with manufacturing companies like A. Lucas & Sons in Peoria and Bradfoot Gear Works in Cicero, helping them to retool their operations and produce parts for wind turbines and expanding Illinois industry. We're helping Ingersoll Machine Tools shift their manufacturing business from aviation to wind, creating 87 jobs and saving another 69. Because of our efforts, Illinois is a national leader in technology businesses. And last year, I signed legislation to encourage more broadband, more wireless investment across our state, every part of our state. These investments are creating a tech boom across Illinois. Companies like Threadless, Peapod, Career Builder, Grubhub, and Orbitz are using these investments to grow and become the next generation of household names. And in addition, our efforts to bring cutting-edge companies and jobs to Illinois are bearing fruit. Last year, we invested in a company called Groupon. Forbes magazine has called Groupon the fastest-growing company ever. Groupon started in Illinois with 6 employees in in 2008. They now employ 1,500 people in Illinois in just 3 years. And thanks to our partnership, they're going to keep growing right here in Illinois, because for more than 150 years, our state has been a world leader in entrepreneurship, technology, and innovation. Illinois built the first silo, changing the way farmers store their crops. We built the first skyscraper, Chicago's home insurance building. It allowed our cities to climb into the sky. We created the first commercial cell phone. We invented LED energy efficient lighting, and we are home to the world's fastest supercomputer. But as any entrepreneur will tell you, a great idea is not enough. Entrepreneurs need access to capital to carry out their vision. You can't have capitalism without capital. So we must support a vibrant entrepreneurial culture that capitalizes on Illinois' strengths. Our strong work ethic, our history of innovation, our world-class universities and research institutions, including Argonne and Fermilab. Today, I'm announcing the formation of an Illinois Innovation Council, convening the best minds in business and academia, in research and development. This group will identify the strategies our state should pursue to foster innovation and economic growth. The council will be led by Brad Keywell, a business leader with a record of spotting good ideas and attracting investment to make them work. He's co-founder of Groupon and will bring innovative business sense. And by harnessing our resources and coordinating our efforts, and by putting our scientists and our inventors in touch with businesses and investors, we will create the jobs of today and tomorrow right here in Illinois. Illinois is a Don't ever forget that Illinois is a major player on the global stage. Our current exports support more than 500,000 Illinois jobs. In 2010 alone, our state exports went up by nearly 20% to just under $50 billion. We are 6th in the nation in exports, 1st in the Midwest. The only states that export more than us are on coasts. We're on an inland situation. And we understand that it's important to export, and as governor, I plan to expand and double our exports over the next 5 years. We can do that if we work together. To meet this goal, we have to reorganize our foreign trade offices. We have to work with representatives from international markets. We have to develop new training relationships and enhance the ones already in place. Just for example, we recently hosted the President of China and his delegation of trade officials. These meetings alone resulted in $1.8 billion in agreements that will sell 25% of our soybean crop from Illinois to one country, China. In 2010, last year, our exports from Illinois to China increased by nearly 30%. And more than 30 Chinese companies are already investing in Illinois, employing thousands of our workers. Creating a good environment for business, economic growth, and jobs requires connecting with the private sector. And my administration continues to meet and engage with leaders of large and small businesses throughout our state. This Friday, February 18th, I'll be hosting a business roundtable. I'll sit down with business leaders to hear their thoughts. One thing we've already heard is the need for workers' compensation reform. We are taking the lead on that issue, and we need to build a system that understands the needs of businesses while protecting the rights and safety of our workers. We will do this. In tackling the challenges of competing in a global marketplace, we should never, ever lose sight of the fact that our greatest asset is our human capital Illinois workers are the best of the best. They're smart, they're resourceful, they're hardworking, but we can't become complacent. We must invest in our state's workforce to meet the changing needs of businesses so that Illinois workers always have the education and training and skills that they need in order to compete with anyone around the world. And that's why I'm proposing to increase support for the Employer Training Investment Program. We're also continuing to invest in our infrastructure that has made Illinois the inland port of America. Shortly after I became governor, we enacted together our Job Recovery Initiative. It's called Illinois Jobs Now. It's a $31 billion job recovery program to rebuild our roads, our bridges, our water systems, our railroads, our airports, and our schools. We're in the middle right now of the largest road building program in the history of the state of Illinois. So far, we have repaired 4,800 miles of roads and 500 bridges, and we have a lot more to come. We are creating jobs. Capital projects to date have created 142,000 short-term and permanent jobs. Altogether, with our program, we will create and retain more than 400,000 jobs over the course of Illinois Jobs Now. We're leading the nation in building a robust and efficient high-speed rail network. We were the first to start construction on this. Demand for passenger rail in our state, every part of our state, is at an all-time high, reaching a record 2 million riders on Amtrak in the past year. The promise of high-speed rail has already brought new manufacturers to Illinois and new private investment to our communities. And we're working to get more federal funding for high-speed rail. We believe in high-speed rail. And today I want to reaffirm my commitment to build a third airport at Peatone in Chicago's south suburbs as fast as humanly possible. We must expand our investment in the third airport in one of the fastest growing parts of Illinois to help companies move their products and people come in and out of our state. Airport investment, rail investment, road investment, they'll pay substantial dividends today and tomorrow and for the next generation. We're the only state in the nation that is making this kind of investment in jobs and transportation infrastructure. We must stay on the course. And we must also keep improving our education. That's our investment that develops the minds of our children, our human investment. It prepares our children for a productive and fulfilling life. We don't want any state to out-educate Illinois. Just over a year ago, I appointed the members of a P20 council, the first of its kind in our state. It includes business leaders and teachers, parents from all across Illinois. We must ensure that we have everyone acquire the skills demanded by the 21st century workplace. And in today's world, that means our high school students must be prepared for post-secondary education. Children born today, this year, will be in high school in 2025. We must begin at birth, to provide the foundation that is needed to prepare our children for high school and success in college and their careers. We need to revamp our higher education system. We want to increase access for all students. Therefore, in this budget, we will increase funding for the Monetary Assistance Program, MAP. This is a scholarship program This is a scholarship program that provides scholarships for qualified, needy students. And we want to have a particular focus on community college students. We have over 1 million community college students in Illinois. Now, we need to abolish the legislative scholarship program. College scholarships that are paid for by the taxpayers of Illinois should only go to those who have true financial need for them. We must be a state that has a dynamic, growing economy. We must provide a first-class education for our people, and training that helps all of our workers succeed at every level. And we must also be a state with a tax system that's fair and responsible. Now, for too long, Illinois has had a tax code that is not fair. It is regressive. It's not based on ability to pay. We can do better. For that reason, I will appoint an Illinois Revenue Reform Commission and charge the members with recommending a plan to write a 21st century tax code for Illinois that focuses on fairness and promotes economic growth. My vision for Illinois is a state that looks to the future by making reforms and sacrifices in the present. In my Illinois, our children go to safe, top-notch schools that prepare them for the rigors of the global economy. The parents of Illinois earn a decent wage, and their employers give them the opportunity to have a good middle-class standard of living. Our homes are energy efficient, technology connected, and easy to maintain, thanks to Illinois innovations. It's everybody in and nobody left out when it comes to building a better Illinois. Working together in good faith, we can overcome any challenge and make the will of the people the law of the land. Thank you.